What up, everybody? So growing up, I used to enjoy playing racing games all the time. I think the first racing game that I can remember playing was Cruising USA back in the Nintendo 64 days. And then 2001, I started getting into NASCAR quite a bit, and starting with about NASCAR Thunder 2003 all the way up to NASCAR the Game 2011. It seemed like every single year I was playing the new NASCAR game. Uh, but since the 2011 game, I haven't touched a NASCAR game at all. I've barely played any racing games at all since about 2014. So I when we were doing the Rocket Racing first reaction video, I started getting the itch after that to get back into a racing game, and kind of reached out to some friends and looked around online and stuff. And with the NASCAR season just getting underway and everything going on, plus this game being on sale, I went ahead and got NASCAR Heat 5 to try out. So this game originally came out back in July of 2020. It was for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One originally, and I believe it was on Steam as well. Uh, there's been another NASCAR game since then called NASCAR Ignition, but those reviews were pretty rough, and I decided to stick with NASCAR Heat 5. So let's check it out and see what it's all about. Alright, so the first time you play this game, it's going to ask you about difficulty presets. I accidentally blew through it when I was, getting everything set up, but this is what the difficulty presets are. Obviously, you can go as casual, the shortest race lengths. You're not really going to have too many flags to deal with. In fact, it says no flags on casual. Damage is non existent, and you can work your way up all the way to hard. There's not going to be any driving assist or anything like that. Full damage, 13% of the race lengths. You're going to have to deal with tire wear a little bit more. For today's video, I'm going to do everything kind of on normal as I get my bearings. So a little bit of damage, a little bit longer of a race length compared to casual. Still no flags, but we'll go from there. All right, so before hitting the track, I am going to go through the my driver and my car options real quick. This is the my driver screen, and this is the driver I've already set up for myself prior to this. You do get a choice. You can go through several different preset selections, so I'll kind of show those real quick. But you have decent amount of customization in this. You can go through and change the shape of their heads, the complexion, nose shapes, eye shapes, all that good stuff, like most video games. So I mean, there's a decent amount of choices here. Nothing too different than most games here. I will say the fire suit outfits and stuff. You do get a few options there as well. So overall, it's there's some decent choices there, and they do come with some sponsors that you can choose on your fire suit. Although it's weird because looking at the my car option versus the my driver option, there's some sponsors missing from the driver options, which is also a little weird. But outside of that, yeah, we'll go to my car now. All right, so this is my car section right here. You can see kind of what I already have set up, and again, I'll get into sponsorship. Not kind of matching what the driver suits and stuff have, but looking at the car, you can kind of start with your series choices. You get the 4 series where you can build your cars. So you got the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, Truck Series, and this kind of extreme Dirt Tour Series. I'm going to show the Cup Series here, but you get your 3 manufacturer choices. So this one was a little bit difficult for me because, Bubba Wallace is my favorite driver now. He's in a Toyota. Dale Jr. was my favorite growing up, but he was in a Chevy. And the very brief racing career I had was in a Ford. And that ended with a fire extinguisher on my very first practice, breaking free from the seat, getting stuck underneath my gas and brake pedals, and then I couldn't shift, so my clutch caught on fire, and yeah, by the time we finally got that car fixed, I ended up injuring my knee in a football injury, and that was that. So, yeah, so I'll stick with the Chevy on this, and if you've never seen in the background of any of my videos, I actually keep this like Chevy El Camino here. That was my favorite car growing up, and I actually had the chance to have one in high school and college and stuff. So had a lot of fun. So I'll stick with the Chevys because of all that. But yeah, just kind of going through the styles. You get a few style choices. Kind of zooming through these a little bit here. So you can make a decent looking car on this one with some of the choices that are there. It is a little bit disappointing for me, kind of going back from some of the old NASCAR games where you had the ability to basically create whatever you wanted from the paint schemes to only having, a handful of options here. Um, but overall, I mean, the cars, they're still going to look pretty solid on the track. You do get a few options, and to kind of show the sponsorship thing that I was talking about with the My Driver and everything, you know, there was no Napa option, no Hooters option, no Mountain Dew options, which are possible sponsors on here, but they weren't on the fire suit, so that seemed weird to me. But other than that, the cars and the drivers, you're going to be able to make decent options out of them. Um, but it is a little bit disappointing that there's not more options out of it. But with that said, let's hit the track now. Yeah, so this is the test screen once you load in. Uh, Drivers are still, from back when the game originally came out, so you'll have some drivers that are, in different spots now than what they are at this time. Like Clint Boyer's retired altogether. Um, Kurt Busch had to retire, unfortunately. So I'm kind of glancing through right now, and weirdly, I don't think my custom car is an option for the practice sessions. So because of that, I'll stick with Bubba Wallace over here. Back when he was in the Petty 43, even so before 2311. We'll test out, Daytona to start it since the 500 just happened. So let's go. So I'm starting this on like kind of a normal difficulty, which kind of gives you the preferred line and all that. Mainly because again, I haven't played a NASCAR game in about 13 years. Daytona, you don't really need a whole lot of brake in this track, so it's mainly just accelerate and go. I'm just trying to get familiar with how this feels with the analog stick to start with. So far, pretty smooth. All right, I beat the lap right on the first one. All right, so now I'm gonna try Martinsville over here. Smaller track, has the braking and everything going into it, so see how that works out for me. But so far, that's 2 laps, and I've beaten the goal time both times. Let's see if I can get it one more time before kind of seeing what else is going on. Yeah, fastest time, so cool. So far, I like how the graphics look and everything on the game as well. Pretty nice. See another spot that they have on the basically different race modes. Outside test session that we were just at is these challenges. So I'm going to try out a couple of the base pack ones, see what it looks like. Let's see. Alright, so we'll start with this Justin Allgaier challenge. It says, with about 20 laps left in the 2019 Xfinity Championship race, Reddick proved slide jobs exist at Homestead. He went on to rim ride to victory while Justin Allgaier later hit the wall and had to pit. We'll give you the opportunity to change history from Justin's shoes. You're about a second behind Reddick with only 5 laps left. Can you beat the defending champ? So let's see. Trying to stay in the draft. Get a little bit of speed going. Trying to hold it up high. Just falling back at this point. Well, I definitely did not pass that challenge. Let's see if I can do it on the second attempt. Oops. Well, a little bit better, but still not good enough to pass on that one. I don't know how to beat that one. Come back to it, figure it out. Try Talladega. Been to Dago one time. That's a pretty cool track. If you ever go out there, they'll give you a bus tour, and you can actually ride along the track on the apron and stuff on this bus. But let's see. Suck it. I think that's going to be a restart there. Alright, that time I've got through it. So now let's see if I can chase down the front pack. So they're going to be wrecking shortly too. There they go. Alright, made it through the wrecks at least. Now let's see how fast I can get up there. Trying to use this car to catch up with the draft, but still kind of far out. Just now catching Truex on this one. They aren't good when they say these are challenges. let's see if this is the time. Basically gotta go low on this one twice. Not low enough on that one. Alright, dodge that first one. Pretty good with the second group. I think I can catch up to them pretty quickly. Get with the young Ryan Blaney here. Actually, I need to go low. Let's go low. Ooh, that got close. Alright, here we go. Already in the draft. I think I have a chance. It's the other Bush brother. Shouldn't be any more wrecks according to the challenge. Trying to hold the draft, trying to hold the draft. Oh yeah, there we go. After all those struggles, finally got it. That's pretty difficult though. Like, I don't know if it's just because I haven't done a NASCAR race in a while or if it's legitimately difficult, but it took me several attempts, so. Especially after the first one where it was, I hadn't got it in a couple of attempts. I think these are going to be decent challenges, but they seem pretty fun. I had a blast doing it. So, alright, so, I got a race set up, or joined the lobby at least. Racing at Talladega, 24 laps, an online lobby. Wasn't too many options right now, but I mean, it is a little bit late in the night, so let's see how I do. Hey, starting fourth. Well, good start. Hold off on pitting right now. I didn't get too much damage on that. Trying to look in my mirror, see what's coming up behind me, but also still stay what's in front of me. And I've been turned. How is there not a caution for that? Thank you. So yeah, this is a great start so far. So it looks like it's pretty easy to pass the AI in online races, especially if you're in one of those lobbies. Well, made up a decent amount of positions on that restart. Alright, I was able to avoid any pile-ups there, so that's good. Definitely feels like the other racers in this are gonna cause some more wrecks. There goes one right now. I think I snuck some positions there at the very end. Shout out to that dude for not trying to wreck me. Ah! I will hold off. A little bit of damage, but not enough to give up the spots. Alright. Trying to bump draft the hell out of the CPU right now. Just able to keep it. Suck my tailpipes, bud. Damn, lost like all momentum trying to pass him up. Alright, 2 to go. Come on, baby. Need some help. The help didn't come. Now this guy's probably gonna try to crash me. Getting a little squirrely. Alright, 9th place isn't terrible. Top 10 to start it off on online. Had a shot to win, just couldn't quite get it done. So, I'll take it. Yeah, kind of my final thoughts on the game right now. Overall, it was a fun first experience back into the NASCAR game for the first time in forever. The sound and graphics were pretty good. The challenges themselves under race modes was a ton of fun. I'm looking forward to try to figure out how to complete some of the other challenges that I didn't get to today. Uh, the test session part of it was pretty solid. I could see that being beneficial to try to test out some different setups and stuff for the cars, especially once you get to a higher difficulty. Didn't really get to do that though this video, but it was nice just to kind of drive and get used to the couple different tracks I was on. Online lobbies for the online multiplayer was a little bit light, but even still, was able to get in a race and have some fun there, even with all the cautions from some of the wrecks and everything in that one. Testing out, the paint booth on my cars over there. That was a little bit more limited than I would have liked, but there were at least some different, paint options and stuff, and I was able to get something that looked okay. But I remember in some of the old NASCAR games, you had a lot more options and customization abilities, so that was a little bit disappointing to not really have a whole lot of that. The crashes in the racing, they were pretty funny, but especially when when you start seeing cars flying off like balloons and everything. But overall, I do wish they were a little bit more realistic because that was kind of jarring to be in a race and all of a sudden see that. But even with that, the AI in general, that was a lot better than I expected. I remember kind of the last NASCAR games I played, you would see cars going single file, and it was just trying to pick them off as many cars as you could in one turn, and go from there. So this one was nice seeing cars kind of spread out across the track and having to actually race for position a little bit. So yeah, overall, I had a lot of fun with this game. It was worth the $9 whatever it is in the shop right now. I am excited to try out the career mode and try to move up the ranks on that. But yeah, let me know what you think of the game in the comments, and feel free to comment your favorite driver and start smack talking. But anyways, thanks again for watching, and I will catch y'all in the future. So stay tuned.